Let's see what's coming towards us. Tomorrow is going to be the full moon, right? It's going to be in Virgo, and it's also going to be a lunar eclipse. There's going to be some powerful, powerful energy coming through. So the first thing I was getting intuitively is, especially with it being in Virgo, is to not be too hard on yourselves, right? Maybe some of you are being very, I hear, self-critical, very hard on yourselves right now, like very perfectionist type, right? And so that's one of the things I was hearing, that maybe that's something that with this full moon might be brought to the surface, that you want to kind of like eclipse out, right? And just have more compassion and more grace with yourself is what the first thing I heard, right? So we're going to use our psychic tarot, and then we'll see what comes out. So we're looking to see the energy coming towards us with this full moon and then with this lunar eclipse. So the first thing is your crown chakra and number 7. So some of you may be getting a lot of downloads, maybe getting some interesting dreams, maybe getting a lot of answers. So pay attention to your dreams. Try and make time for like stillness, for quiet, so you can get that information filtering through. And then typically when it comes through your crown chakra, then it gets projected through your third eye, right? So that's where you get your visions and you get your dreams and that kind of stuff when you sleep. Particularly, that's how I get them, mainly. So, all right, so that's one message. So let's shuffle and say, oh, look at this beautiful destiny. I love this. Look at that. That's the Wheel of Fortune, card number 10, right? So what I'm getting is, for some of you with this full moon and with this eclipse season, is some of you are going to be moving towards your destiny, something that's destined for you, just for you, right? That's been brought in by the divine. And I notice in this card, like she's holding on to her heart chakra, right? And I notice all this green around her too. So some of you may be having a heart opening around this time, right? And that's where I was saying, so I'm hearing something maybe feeling a little tender, maybe feeling a little bit more emotional, right? And so again, you may have certain things coming up to be healed, particularly when it relates to like your heart chakra, when it relates to love, when it relates to emotions, when it relates to intimacy. I'm hearing when it relates to the expression of emotions, right? Things that you've suppressed. Some of you may be feeling that coming up more. So some of you may be a little bit more emotional, right? But with the Wheel of Fortune, this is change, but this is change being brought in by the divine. And, a lot of times it's lessons too, right? With the Wheel of Fortune can be a very karmic card in terms of their lessons that you're learning and like what goes around comes around, right? But with it being upright, this is actually good. If it was in reverse, I'd be like, oh, you might be on the bad side of karma. But with it being upright in the Wheel of Fortune, that's beautiful. But I'm getting it has to deal with heart, with emotions, and with love. But let's see what else we get. That's just the first card. Oh, ooh, okay, I see what's going on now. Second card you have is stand your ground. Some of you may be fighting for something that you love, right? Standing up to other people who may be criticizing. Maybe that's what I was getting that energy about Virgo in terms of there's a lot of criticism and harshness. So some of you may be in a situation where others may not agree with a decision that you're making, whether that be in terms of pursuing another relationship, whether that be in terms of romance, or just in terms of your own growth and the direction that you're heading in. There may be others who don't approve of this. And so, you're being advised to stand up for yourself, right? Because this is something that's destined, right? So you may be making more heart over head decisions. And some people may not like that, but you're moving in the direction of your passion. You're moving in the direction of your heart. Spirit's already giving you the go-ahead and telling you with this 10, this Wheel of Fortune, that you are moving in the right direction. And then look, here you have memories of love, right? The 6 of Cups. So again, this is something that's going to be very fulfilling, whether that be returning to something from your past, in terms of a past relationship, or in terms of something that you did in your past, like work or things that, just remind you of a very fun time, reminds you of home, reminds you of your childhood. Spirit is saying, I'm hearing welcome home, right? Like you're going home, home within self, coming into unity with self, right? Union with self. But this is something that's worth fighting for. So if others around you don't agree, to hell with them, right? You have to do what's right for you, and what speaks to your heart is what I'm hearing. And for some of you, it is a relationship, because I see this spiritual union card, which is this 2 of Cups, right? So that's really deep intimacy. Maybe somebody you connect with very spiritually, maybe even telepathically. We've gotten this message before. Let's see if we get one more. Oh, of course we get 3. Well, look, I'm telling you, you're going to be successful. Whatever you're going to be pursuing, you're going to be successful. A 6 again, because you have victory and success. So some of you may be seeing 666, right? 10-2 is you're closing out a cycle, right? But you're moving in the right direction. I get the sense that some of you are listening to guidance, and that's why things are going to unfold in a much better way than it may have done in the past, because now you're paying attention to the guidance that you're receiving. And two, you're stepping into your power, but in a beautiful way, because you're stepping into integrity. Because here you have this deception and envy, right? So some of you may be seeing 7772 as well. But it's in the reverse. So this is where you want this card. You want this card to be in the reverse, because this is like the Seven of Swords, which is dishonesty, right? It's like treachery. It's like lies. It's like deceit. It's like mind games. It's like, not speaking very clearly and being very transparent, right? But you are coming out of that. So this change is happening within yourself, but it's also being brought on by the divine. And so you're stepping out of that energy of deceit, right? Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that, right? And that's what I was saying. The next card you got was Rejoice in Celebration, which is the Three of Cups. So in terms of like friendships, in terms of relationships, sometimes even in terms of a reunion, but it's like you're starting to kind of move towards, I hear your tribe, your soul tribe, a group of folks that are going to align more with you, right? And this is why Spirit is saying, stand your ground, the Seven of Wands, don't give up. Because sometimes when you're elevating, right, and leveling up and changing in terms of your energetic frequency and shedding certain things that no longer serve, the people around you are going to want to keep you right where you are, or right where you were, right? Because you're now not vibrating with them. You're not on the same wavelength. But because they haven't leveled up and they haven't yet had their awakening and they haven't changed, they're not going to understand where you're trying to go. And sometimes you just can't take these people with you, right? So that's why Spirit is saying, trust what your intuition is telling you, trust what your heart is telling you, and keep going. No matter what other opposition you're getting or what other people around you are saying, you know where you're heading, and you know what's going to bring you happiness. You know what's going to feel like home. And beautifully, that's what some of you are doing, because you got the card moving on. Another 6. Did I say some of you maybe seeing 666? Yes, and it fell right on the memories of love. So in terms of shedding certain deceptive maybe behaviors, patterns, way of thinking, certain deceptive people, right? Deceptive environment. I am seeing that some of you beautifully are taking the step to do that. And this is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful energy where you're moving on and leaving behind things that no longer serve you. All right, let's see if I can hurry up and clarify, because this cuts me off at like 10 minutes. But this is beautiful energy. It's moving on, right? Moving on. Okay, so let's clarify destiny and then see what we get. And then look, here again, you have the 6 of Wands, which is success. Tell me about destiny, Spirit. What specifically? And then here you are, working on yourself. 8 of Pentacles, right? So putting in the work, putting in the effort, working on your finances. There's something that you're doing that is going to pay off. So keep doing it. Tell me about stand your ground. Look at that Star card. So some of you have been really working on your oh, Lord. Let me hide that. Let me hide that before it gets banned. Some of you have been really working on your healing, and the Spirit's saying just keep doing what you're doing, even if you have naysayers, even if there are others around you who don't understand it, right? Some of you may be wanting to make an offer, right? But you know that this is the right thing to do for you because it's putting you in alignment, and Spirit's saying go ahead, do it. Do not sit there and listen to other people who have their own, I hear, selfish, right, reasons for keeping you where you are, or have their own intentions, right? That doesn't have to do with your higher good, right? So let's look at memories of love. So here you have 10 of Pentacles. It's clarifying memories of love. 10 of Pentacles can be, a commitment, right? It's in terms of feeling very stable. It could be family. It can be home. It could be a legacy. Tell me more about but here you go, 3 of Swords. There's something about this that hasn't been working. So some of you may be ending something that has been very long-term, very stable. But as you have evolved and as you have changed, it's no longer working. Tell me about deception and envy reverse. Tell me about deception and envy. Yes, the Spirit's saying 7 of Wands reverse. Don't sit here and try and fight for this anymore, right? It's time for you to release this because it's something that's not serving you. Tell me about rejoice in celebration. So here you have Page of Cups. So some of you may be wanting to make a love offer or going after something that, again, that speaks to your heart. And then maybe some of you missed the boat in the past because you have Temperance reverse, and it puts you out of alignment. Last card, moving on before this cuts me off. And then here you are, 8 of Wands. Spirit saying, get going. Lickety split. It's time.